we're going to be holding an international festival in Peabody Square on Sunday, September 23rd. We began planning the festival, the first year was 1984, I believe. It was on a grant from the Arts Council. At that time, it was Mayor Tregian and myself who were involved, and we thought we would get about 300 people that year, and we had thousands. We ran out of food at 1 o'clock, and we were a big success, but we knew we had to plan differently for the next years, and that's when Debbie and then Mary became involved, and we all planned together.
The purpose of this festival goes beyond just providing entertainment. We in Peabody are proud of our community. We are proud of its people. We are proud of the many ethnic groups and the people who have chosen Peabody as their place to live, raise their families, and be part of our community.
It's absolutely remarkable and extraordinarily successful here this afternoon. We can get all ethnic groups together celebrating one qualitative thing, and I'd say better quality of life.
I started with the mayor's office in 1985, and I was basically thrown into this mayhem at the time, working closely with Judy, and so that was my first experience with the festival.
I understand there was only about half this many booths last year.
Yes, we definitely have added. There's no question about that.
So there's plenty of food to eat. It's all terrific. It's all good. It's all fresh.
What am I eating? Knish?
It's called the knish. It's ground meat in a dough. And doesn't that taste good? It's warmed up
delicious.
for you.
It's worth the trip.
North, east, south, west, makes no difference.
One of the reasons that there is so much pride in Peabody and in Massachusetts these days is because it is the contribution of all of these ethnic groups, all of our cultures, all of our heritages, which has combined to give us the kind of success that we have today.
It's become almost like a tradition in a very short time, and the reason for that is this city is rich in ethnic heritage, and what it has done is kind of pull the community together, and I'm pleased with it. It's growing each year, and I think it'll be much bigger next year.
I think when I came in the third year, Debbie and Judy had kind of put together a format, so things, by the time I jumped in, were running a lot smoother.
I have to say that the organization of it was really excellent.
The winters drive you crazy. This land was made for you and me.
Tell us a little bit about the Filipino booth. We see some delicious food over there.
Over there is what we call the egg roll or lumpia. And the second one, my wife, that's the rice noodle.
Delicious.
The chief has just told me that we have surpassed last year's crowd of 75,000. The estimate is placed somewhere between 80 and 85,000 people for the day, and to me that's a tribute to all the people who worked so hard to make this day happen.
The nice thing was that it was never enough. You know, there was always some other great idea that he had. He was very creative, very exciting, motivated. He just always kept coming up with new ideas.
International Festival is a way where we can come together and celebrate our diversity. We all come from different backgrounds. The mayor comes from Armenian heritage. You know, my grandfather came from Norway, and there's 100 other stories from all of you out here, and it's really terrific where we can come together and celebrate that difference.
the same, you know. Yes, we're all the same, you know.
When Peter had this idea some 11 years ago and breathed life in it, who could have possibly imagined going down that magnificent street through the heart of this city, seeing every kind of ethnic groups represented in a wonderful spirit of caring and sharing? This is really what this community is about.
The one thing that sticks in my mind about the mayor is that he was on top of everything. He knew every detail. He was involved in every meeting. He was so detail oriented. He wanted to make sure everything was perfect so that people came and enjoyed themselves and didn't have to worry and didn't have to think about what was going on. So he had his hand on the pulse of that festival.
You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the
We think this is the largest crowd we have ever had, and we're really thrilled, very happy, and I think that you just can't beat a hometown activity.
We have over 63 artists from Peabody in the area that are down here. We have everything from oil paintings to watercolors to tinsel art.
I think we have probably the most diverse and rich district in the country. I'm proud to serve each and every one of you, and I thank you all for letting me participate in today. Thank you.
We've been doing this since it started, the festival, and there's about 25 men work to get all this together. 500 pounds of sausages we cook.
Wow, that's a lot of sausage.
Over 1,300 rolls.
I'm watching these ladies here cooking those fiors, which are like fried dough, I think, sort of. Aren't they beautiful?
Oh, yes, they
Looks good. Look at that lady working hard over here. Huh?
She is.
This is great.
He would go to every single booth and try their food. He went to almost every entertainment site, got up and sang with at least 2 or 3 of the groups every year.
And he also knew what every booth served, and he knew how to say it in their language. And when he would go to the booth and talk to them and ask how the bafanas or the pierogies or the whatevers were, and people really loved that. They loved the fact that he took enough interest in their booth and their festival to acknowledge their ethnicity.
If you leave your living room right now and try to get down here and get to this booth, you might be lucky enough to find some food. But and tell us a little bit about what's in them and what they are.
These are punchki, Polish donuts, and they're filled with jelly and whipped cream. They're all made locally. The whipped cream comes from Donaisky Dairy. You haven't lived.
You haven't lived. You took a bite of that. Isn't it delicious? Okay.
We have the chicken finger, chicken wing, boneless spare rib, beef teriyaki, crab rangoon, and egg roll, and the chow mein or the rice lau mein here.
It's really a pleasure for me as the mayor of the city to be able to be part of this and make it a very special community. People is what makes a community.
Twist and dab, twist and man, everybody feeling great, oh yeah. Twist and come on, everybody, twist and the night away.
right. I'm just so proud that we have this kind of crowd on this kind of day after the events of last week, that we can all come together under the American flag, share different foods, share stories.
Right. One more time. Last one. Right. Yeah, good. 1, 2.
This wasn't just a one-time event for him or for the city. He had a vision, and the vision was to bring together all the ethnicities of the city, and he accomplished that successfully. And I think that his goal was to make sure that that continued long term, because we continue to have, you know, a wonderful city with so many different ethnic groups, and to be able to continue to share that experience, I think, was the goal of this.
With us this afternoon for his first festival is Mayor Mike Bonfanti. And Mike, great day so far.
Well, as you know, for the last at least 15 out of the 18, I worked for the Italian club selling sausage. I was kind of the money man. So although I was here in that time, I was really restricted to the booth. So it is great to get out and get about and see all the people and hopefully participate a little bit more in the food.
Right now, the Italian-American booth, the greatest sausages on earth, and one of the original booths down here at the festival.
That's the truth. They're the best, made by little Italian boys. They do a great job.
Everything's good. Anything you can have, it's good.
Got chicken, Finnish pie, salads, Greek salads. We name it, you name it, how we got it.
20 years ago, we had an idea that made sense, that we ought to do some things to pay tribute to all the people who came here, our parents, our grandparents, from all over the world.
As we gather here today to celebrate our different heritage and backgrounds, we are taking a modest step in the direction of creating a better, more understanding, more tolerant world.
Than the birds in the trees. Yes, I do now. Well,
I'm very honored to have been elected mayor of this great city, and I'm thrilled to continue the International Festival. This is something I strongly believe in, and it's something that I hope I'll be here for many years, and we continue the International Festival for many years.
Today we have steak kebabs, chicken kebabs, Brazilian style with different type of marinated steaks. So it's a flavor from Brazil.
I must tell you, it smells absolutely wonderful.
Oh yeah, it's really, really good. It's been like 10 years. This is our 10th year here.
Wow, that's wonderful.
So it's, yeah.
I want to see the sun, 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 out the sky. I want to see it painted, painted, painted. Space, never ending. Your glory goes beyond all pain and the cry of my heart.
31 years ago, Mayor Peter Terigian brought forth this great tradition, and it has now become our signature event with tens of thousands of people every year coming to celebrate their diversity and celebrate our city's history. I think today we have one of the largest crowds we've ever had. We did make some changes to it to try to accommodate more people, more booths than we've ever had this year, and I think it's going tremendously well.
We are offering Portuguese biscuits, homemade breads, and Portuguese fried dough.
How long have you been here, guys? You've been here since day one, I think.
Since, yeah, 30 years.
Wonderful.
Yep,
Awesome.
we've been here
You
since
have
the
a great
beginning.
day. We know you're busy.
Thank you very much.
I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. Oh, please, say to me.
Mayor Pete was looking down
Yeah,
on
he
us
was,
today. The
yes.
sun is shining.
Yeah.
Couldn't ask for a better day. Great crowd.
Yeah,
So
good.
we're very happy.
Another great job by you,
Another-
Mayor.
another
great
year
job.
down.
So what do you have here today
So
for the
we
food?
have curry chicken, jerk pork, calypso rice, rice and peas, mac and cheese,
Wow.
fish cakes.
Smells wonderful.
And beef patties.
Okay, great.
Yes.
And the day's been going well for
And
you?
the day's been going
Good.
well. We're just overwhelmed.
Okay.
I'm not feeling good myself. Feeling alright. I'm not feeling good myself. Come on, Dickie.
What kind of things are you selling today?
Hispanic foods, like mainly Puerto Rican, Dominican foods, like empanadas, rice, beans, fried pork, stuff.
Awesome. Well, your line looks really busy, so we'll let you get back to work, but thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Some kind of wonderful, talking about my baby. Some kind of wonderful, talking about my baby. Some kind of wonderful, talking about my baby. Once, twice.
Tried Peggy Sue, tried Mary Lou, tried Betty Lou, so a new one do Bobby Red, take my hand.
Some of us grew up at a time where we defined our neighborhood by our parish church. And then some of us grew up where we defined our neighborhood by our local school. But this was the product of an event and a product of a thought that we should not just consider ourselves part of a neighborhood, but bring in the entire city so that we can share the wealth that we all have.
I'd like to come over and experience the different foods, especially the Portuguese culture. I have a little bit of Portuguese in me, so I guess I'm a little biased, but it's all wonderful.
I have to say, I might be partial to the Italian club, and those sausages are fabulous.
So we are Azor Grill. Our specialty is frango piripiri. It's the Portuguese barbecue chicken. We love the International Festival, and we love how Peabody is so international and so ethnic. So we wanted to bring our piripiri chicken here today.
Oh my goodness, I really don't know how he came up with this idea, but it was, 36 years ago.
Yep.
And I can remember walking down Forest Street and he was talking about putting this here, that there, and his whole thing was getting the community together.
And what do we got going on over here today?
Some pork sandwiches, some linguiça sandwiches, sardines, fried dough being fried on the spot.
Beautiful. In Filipino culture, a lot of times you have someone that's called a overseas Filipino worker, and they basically work and they send home money and they send home goods. Sometimes that's the only part of you that gets to go home. So it's like a little piece of you that gets to go home in a care package.
This is so cool. Thanks for bringing us to the International Festival.
Thank
It's like
you.
the perfect place for it to be.
It's the perfect setting for it.
I'm extremely proud of, and I'm proud of it because so many nationalities, so many ethnic groups came here, worked hard, and built a wonderful community, and this is our time to celebrate.
The fact that it's been a peaceful and wonderful way to share everybody's culture through music, dance, and food, and to be able to coexist peacefully when so many other bad things are going on in this world is one of the reasons it's been successful.
I think it would be a big mistake not to have the festival for future years to come, because it is once a year and it's a reminder of what we are as people. It's a reminder of we're no different. I mean, if you pinch me, I'm going to say ouch. No different than a person who's wearing different clothes or eating different food than I am. That we're all the same. We're in this world together. And the most important thing to me is that when I walk up, whether it's the Banda Recreativa marches in, the ladies from the Polish church or whatever, it's sort of a homecoming. They're seeing people that they haven't seen maybe for a year or the previous year. It's grown from a Peabody festival really to a regional type festival.